Hola, mi amigos. We're doing Sarah's car today. Say hi, Sarah.
Hi.
We're doing some Eibach sway bars, Eibach lowering springs, some end links, and that's it on her Focus ST. Because her car is performance blue and it has some blue accents, like her lug nuts on the 1552s are blue. Her rally armor mud flaps. What she did was she got her sway bars and springs powder coated grabber blue. So they actually look really pretty. Her springs are also powder coated grabber blue. So I think it's gonna look really good with the light blue accent color.
They actually said that they could have matched that chrome look if I wanted it to.
Oh, the anodized blue?
But this better match the writing, and I'm gonna change those lugs out anyways, so.
And then these are the end links. I guess we're gonna do the sway bars first in the rear. Probably knock out the springs too. Probably just do the rear of the car and then drop it down and then
came with a little sticker stencil.
Do the front. What are you working on?
A side project.
Of what? A coffee?
Yep. No, I gotta put an AC compressor on a GMC Sierra.
I found some FOD.
It's not FOD, there's no aircraft.
I've had plenty of practice on my knees, you don't have to worry about it.
Oh my god.
I got mascot. I got mascot. And it's alright.
R. I see a bird and a cacti. It's kind of a pain in the butt. The pinch welds on this Focus ST, the actual point where you can jack from, is like that big. It's such a small area. So it makes it a pain in the butt to be able to jack it up and get.
I was wondering when you were gonna notice. The only defect that they had to have is because they hang it.
Oh yeah.
But they went in and they covered it, and I mean,
You won't really
you
see
won't
that.
notice it. They match. Nothing.
What?
I have child boobs. They don't exist. Like, look at yours.
I can't help it, I have big boobs.
And then mine are just like, nope. There's nothing there. It looks like on this one it's gonna be pretty easy because it just has the rear mounts and then it just pretty much goes straight to inlinks. But we're gonna do the springs at the same time, which is good on the rear. It's just separate. You can see. Stick my hand in here. I'm not as technical as Sarah. Mine's just like, okay, you see it, you take it off, you put the new one on.
Ouch! That was a mud flap. Oh, I almost stuck my head in your tailpipe. Oh, that didn't come out right. Scooch. You can tell we're actually professional mechanics, right? Not having any safety glasses.
I'll do it.
Sure, eat your shirt on my crotch.
I'm not hungry right now. So we're adjusting these now, but when we put the lowering springs on, we're gonna have to readjust them.
And then once we get them in the car, most likely she's gonna end up getting an alignment because she's just putting lowering springs on and then everything will get readjusted. But we're just gonna mirror the original end length for now. Just for now. As a baseline. Here's the old end length for comparison, and here's the new one. So you can see it's a lot more rigid. I mean, look at the difference between these.
Well, just having that extra length is a way more chance of having that snap than...
Yep. Install bar into car, do not tighten. Cool, all right. So now you just stick it in the car. So the angle in which the end lengths are at makes it really hard to get the washer and the nut on the bottom here. So you gotta squish it down a little bit first. I'm holding the top of the end link with a 16 mil wrench while Sarah puts on the bottom nut because this thing's under quite a bit of tension, so it's kind of hard to squish together with one person.
I think that should be as many tips as you got.
That's probably good.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
The inner hole is the most aggressive setting to induce oversteer and reduce understeer. We had it on the outer setting at first, but it put the end link at such an odd angle that it was making it almost impossible to get these two bottom, or this bottom nut and this bottom washer on. This stuff looks like pastry strudel frosting. I think I'm just really hungry.
I'm really hungry too.
Ew.
It sounds like lube. Spit is not a good anal lube, FYI. Look at all that grease. Too much.
I know, it's so much lube.
Oopsies.
Yeah, that's when you know you're in all the way. So what Sarah's doing is she's putting the boot at the top on the spring, so it's matched up with the pigtail at the top of the spring, and then same with the bottom. She's got it lined up, and then once it's all lined up, we're just gonna use the jack and smush it all together. We got the new springs in. All I got left to do is get this bolt in right here. Sarah's jacking up the jack, which is underneath the spring bucket right here. And as she does that, I'm trying to get this hole aligned so I can slide this bottom bolt into its hole right here. And then once we get that in there, the spring will be completely in. So you can see we did the other side. The other side's done. Yeah, it's gotta go. Oops, too much.
Yeah, it's all the way through, not just the thread, so I'm gonna pull it back and you thread it.
Alright, pull it. Alright, we got the rear of the car done. Now we're about to do the front. Sarah's going over the instructions. We read instructions. We don't just ham fist it and try to guess how things go together. The front's probably gonna take a little bit longer than the rear, which really sucks because we took quite a while on the rear, but it's because we're filming too.
The filming, I think, took the longest part.
Right? It takes forever. Making the videos take way longer. If we were just doing this, we'd probably be done the whole car already. Sarah works a night shift, so she's like...
I should have been sleeping by now. Like, I'm so tired.
So we're gonna take out the skid plate, take off front wheels. I'm just gonna throw in some B-roll real quick so we can just get that stuff jammed out, and then we'll get under the car and start working.
Side strength. So we're gonna do a side at a time. I'm gonna do the side, she's gonna do the other side, and we're gonna get these springs done so we can hopefully drop the subframe and get my front sway bar in, but we'll see what kind of time we have.
So what we have to do is we're gonna have to take off this mount on the side of the strut. Also where the brake line bolts up right here, we'll take these two off of the strut assembly. Then there's a bolt at the very bottom on the spindle. And then there's 3 bolts up at the top of the strut tower. And then we can remove the whole strut as assembly and then use a spring compressor and take the spring off. So this guy's an 8mm. That off, the line out of the way. Alright, so everything is off. Just gotta do the top and then this guy can drop right out. If we weren't trying to do this quickly, we would take off the entire wiper cowl piece, but it's taking longer than we thought, especially now they have to take the whole subframe out. So we're trying to be expedient with time. And this guy doesn't wanna... There we go. Look, the dirt on my legs makes me look tanner.
Okay, I probably shouldn't be doing this.
So what we have to do now is everything is taken off the strut assembly. It's disconnected at the very top. And then we spread this wide open. This is hard.
I would just stop speaking at this moment.
I'm just gonna point to things and shake my head, so.
This is, see?
I have this spread open with the chisel, and that is relieving the tension off the strut, so it's now loose. And then what we're gonna do is she's gonna pull down, and I'm gonna pull the strut upward out of it. All right, a little bit more. I don't know if you can.
I got mustard.
I can't do it.
Let me get
Like I have no strength left.
was out.
Is it?
Yeah, I just need.
All right, we got it. It took us like 2 hours, but we did it.
Because we got lady strength.
Right. We got both the struts out of the car. What we're gonna do now is use a spring compressor to compress the springs, so that way we can pull the strut and the spring apart and then put the new springs on. We got one done. This is taking a lot longer than we thought it would. While Sarah's knocking out the passenger side, I'm going to get this strut back on the driver's side. So that way we can try to get this done before it gets dark out. There's no way we're gonna be able to get her front sway bar done today, which really sucks. Dude, I'm actually glad we painted that area. I think it does.
You want me to start doing the sway bar?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just let me
That'd be awesome.
have at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a late night. I was thinking that this was gonna be very quick and easy for me and Sarah to knock out, but the added element of having to film it just completely made things way more difficult. The top hardware has to be Loctited, so I'm gonna go up real quick, put some Loctite on those, and then this side will be 100% done, and we can knock out this sway bar.
I'm pretty much just buttoning up the last little bit on here. I can't put this back on because of the sway bar, but I can put this brake line back on. Pin tape.
Wow, that's a stupid design.
The subframe is supported. Basically, you gotta lower the subframe about 2 inches so that way you can get the sway bar out.
I like this one better than the one we have at work. The liquid one is just too messy.
There you go, it's threaded in. Okay, since me and Sarah kind of failed at getting this done in time and now we employed Charlie, go ahead and make all the jokes you want. What did you have to do really to get it out so far?
You have to undo the brackets for the exhaust hanger. There's like a triangle shaped bracket. It's right here. Goes over the subframe mount. So you have to unbolt all these little bolts, and then the main bolt for the subframe goes in here. It's a 21 mil. And then there's just 4 bolts holding the subframe in. You support it with a jack and lower it down.
Yeah, go ahead and let it eat. Is my side down?
Yeah, all the bolts are out of it.
So now the subframe is supported entirely by the jack right here. So we're gonna lower it down. Probably about what, like 2 inches or so, just so we can get the sway bar out. All right.
You gotta go down the most in the back.
So what Charlie's doing right now is he's unbolting the steering rack. There's 3 15mm bolts that hold the steering rack in, and one of them is on top of the steering rack, and he's getting it right now.
If you do this middle one, don't go sticking your hands up in there without knowing what's in there, because there's a heat shield that's like sharp as a razor knife right next to the 15 mil.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just an FYI. Yeah, it sucks.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Here goes. Is it going down?
Yep, it's going down.
Tell me when to stop.
Right there.
All right. Awesome, thank you. So we have to reuse the original brackets because we do not have new ones with this set, but it has new bushings. So we're just gonna lube up the bushings and then put them on these brackets and then put it under the car.
I just put a little light coat in here. The rear ones had a Zerk fitting right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Front ones don't?
No.
The crazy part is the old brackets didn't, but the new ones had a Zerk fitting.
I can do that one while you lube that other one. All right, front side is done. Springs are in. Sway bar is in down there. Wheels are back on. Now it's time to jack the car down. It's not hella flush, but it definitely got rid of the wheel gap. It's just a minimal wheel gap now. So it looks a lot better than it did. But this thing definitely needs a detail. Good thing I know a girl. I will be doing a follow-up video on this after she gets her alignment done, so definitely check back in for that. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye. I don't ever put my hair in a bun because I have a 5 head. You have a mullet bun?
Mullet bun.
I don't have any safety glasses with me, so I'm just gonna wear my sunglasses so I don't get anything in my eye.
I'm just gonna close my eyes.